introduce my guest, okay? Sorry, I got off track here.
No, it's wonderful. I love the energy, the
I didn't even introduce myself because I got fired up, okay, when we got to talking about our voice, okay? So every one of you have a wonderful voice, okay? So you're right. We all right. But add the voice to it. You just add another element on top of that, okay? So we have three of ways that we can learn, okay? Visually, through audio if you're hearing, okay? And through tactile, to doing things. I love doing things, okay? I've learned a lot. I knew zero when I came to Substack. Now I'm running a publication, okay? Right now, currently between 900 and 1,000 subscribers. Okay, thank you. And that's because of all of you guys. Okay, I couldn't have done that without you. And the same things that we find that makes us successful, we need to capitalize on that. And like I was telling Shaneh here, okay, you have a beautiful voice. Use that to make that money, okay? Because I was inspired by your voice, okay? And I had to come back and play that audio like 2 or 3 more times. I'm like, wait a minute, you don't got no likes on here? 0 likes? I had to restack that, okay? Because that's how you made me feel, okay? And I was like, then that inspired me to up my game on my daily motivations, okay? I do those mainly for me, okay? But I'm gonna share it with them as well, because if I'm getting so much value, they will too, okay? So every time I do those daily reflections, I want to make sure I'm in the right headspace, okay?
Yep.
Where I can create something magical, because it's only like 2 minutes, but those 2 minutes can make a difference in somebody's life. It can raise you up from here to
everything.
up here.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you.
Those
2 minutes can change everything for somebody. And I love how passionately you're speaking about us using our voice. I used to hate my voice. Hate it. Whenever I'd hear it like on a voicemail or something, I heard a 12-year-old girl. And I would think, who's going to listen to a 12-year-old girl talking about money? Right? But what I have found is I get more comments about my voice and then my writing, even though I instinctively write first. And then, so I was on Substack for about a month, maybe 6 weeks before I started doing the audio drops.
Okay.
Because I had to get comfortable with what putting my thoughts out there. And then somebody was like, Shaneh, I love what you have to say, but I'm not a reader. So I'm missing it. Is there any way you'll ever do a podcast? And I was like, well, if one person is asking for it, 100 people are thinking it. Right? So I just started recording and went, I'll get better. Even if I don't like it at first, I will get better. And they have been wildly popular. The downloads went up immediately, and I do get more podcast downloads than I do reads. But my trick to make sure that people really feel what I want them to feel, regardless of how they engage with my content, is I read it out loud before I even post the article. So if I wouldn't say it that way, I will not write it that way. So I go back and edit to make sure that it's like, it's just me. Feel my passion, feel my truth. And the ones that seem to get the most love are the ones where I get a little flirty.
Yeah. I noticed that. I'm like, you go, girl. You got 2 minutes or whatever. Make the most of it. Okay? It's a lot you can do in 2 minutes, okay? We can get really imaginative. But regardless, that's why I'm like, oh my God. And you was talking about, you talk about money, but your message says something different. You draw them in
Mm-hmm.
And then you start talking about money. And by then, by the end of your audio, you've already sold the subscription. Okay? Because that is marketing at its finest. Okay? Now, I'm sorry. Let me get back to tell them who you are. All right. Shaneh's World on Substack. Okay? Shaneh's Woods, she focuses on money, prosperity, and creating more empowered leadership, okay, relationships with finances. It describes herself as an oasis of a world gone mad, okay? It has truly gone mad, okay? Uh, Inviting readers to use tools, tactics, and strategies, mysterious and magics to manifest their own world through how they engage with money, okay? And we talk about money, we talk about energy,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And all these things, and sexuality and marketing, all of these things intertwine.
Yep.
So please tell us more about yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate that. First, I want to say to Brandon and Kathy, I understand. I didn't like my voice either, but your people, whomever they may be, need your voice, need your power, need your passion. So find a way to share what is in your heart, and let go of the stories that your voice isn't up to par. I'm sure that it is.
Let go of the stories that your family has told you that is
Yep.
not true. Let go of these voices because it's not true.
Yep.
I'm here talking to you today. Okay, the person that always was shy and never talked and thought their voice was horrible. If I can overcome all this stuff, you can too. I want to hear more of your voices coming forth starting today. Okay, you're right. Also, I recommend doing the audio too because you're trying to get more subscribers. I want more subscribers. We all want more subscribers. You want it? Put in the work. Okay.
Love it, Margaret. Love it.
Let's get back to you. See,
Yeah.
people want fame and fortune, but they don't want to do the work. It don't work that way. Please go ahead.
No, this is wonderful. Thank you. Um, yeah, so my Substack is Profit is Protest. And I have found that more of us, good, kind, open hearted human beings, need to show up and say, I get to be wildly, unreasonably resourced so that I can take care of myself, so that I can take care of my people, so that I can take care of my community. And if the more of us do that, the world just gets better. Right? So I help yes. So I help my people engage with money in a new way, right? Where we release the stories of it is better to give than receive, or money is the root of all evil, or to be a good, kind, spiritual human being, I must suffer, right? All of these stories that have been passed down to us through eons, and are still so prevalent in our society, it's like they don't exist in Shaneh's world. I draw the line and say, not in this place, not here. What is your story? And what is your relationship with money? It's funny that you said that marketing and sexuality and money all live in this intersection. And it does. Because the way we receive one thing is the way we receive anything. So if you have a hard time receiving a compliment, Margaret, you look beautiful today. And you go, oh, thank you. So do you. Right? You hot potato it right back at me instead of letting it land. I guarantee you have a hard time receiving money. If you have a hard time receiving money, you also have a hard time receiving support. If you have a hard time receiving support, you have a hard time receiving orgasms. It is literally all connected.
And you have a hard time. Oh, you did say that, but I just lost my train of thought. But if you have a hard time loving yourself, you can't love it. You can't receive love.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
And then we wonder why we are blocked. We block ourselves. We block ourselves, we block our blessings.
Yeah, we have to allow ourselves to feel it all,
Oh.
right? If like right now, the world is crazy. And a lot of us are like in a bit of a pit of a despair, thinking that this is just the way the world's gonna be and we kind of need to hunker down. And let me be honest, that is a valid response. And we can't let them win by us stop showing up and doing our good works in the world,
No, no,
right?
because all we have is now.
Yeah.
Okay, the present moment, and I
Yep.
want to feel everything in this present moment. Okay,
Yep.
because an hour from now I could be dead. All right.
Yeah, and when you allow yourself to feel whatever it is, the ones we've labeled as good, the ones we've labeled as bad, to their full experience, then they do what they're here to do, heal something in us, right? And if we avoid feeling the rage, and my audience tends to be mostly women, so rage is something we're scared of, right, in ourselves. But if we try to avoid that rage, we also don't get to experience the heights of our joy.
Yes, but you know why we keep it in? Because we are told that we're supposed to be kind, we're supposed to be empathetic, we're not supposed to be loud, we're not supposed to be boisterous, we're just supposed to take whatever you send our way.
Yeah. Yep. Not in Shayna's world. Not in Shayna's world.
That shit is over with. It's about fulfilling our needs, our wants, and our desires. That's what it's about. Not
Well,
tomorrow, today.
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 Yeah. And I believe that we deserve everything we desire simply because we exist and it harms no one.
And I don't need nobody's permission,
Nope.
and I'm not apologizing for what I want and need. I'm going to get it.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
that's how each and every one of us have to be. We've all made too many sacrifices to 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 not have our needs and wants met. Period.
Yep. Apologize. I thought I had turned my phone off.
No, it's
Um,
okay. That's okay.
I'll throw it over there. Yeah. So when we engage with money in a new way, like, okay, so there's a quote that I love by Michael Port. He
Okay.
says that all business problems are personal problems in disguise.
Okay.
True, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk more about it?
Yeah. So think if like me, you hated your voice. And so that's a visibility problem. Well, the personal problem is me believing that I sound like a 13-year-old girl. And it's because there was like a trauma back then. And who's going to want to listen to me? Who's going to believe me? Right. So this is a personal story I had to unwind in order to now be 50 or almost 50 and show up um, and share my truth. Right. So when we engage with money, we aren't just going, okay, dollars and cents. 1 + 1 = 2. We are actually healing stories of worthiness, stories of deservedness, stories of who gets to have. And I believe that healing goes backwards and forwards through time. So when we do our healing, we are bringing peace to our ancestors.
Oh.
And we are healing so our progenitors, the ones that come after us, and this counts even if you don't have children, I don't have children, but there are those that are mine. My name will be on their lips in 100 years, in 1,000 years, when they go, I learned it from this woman so that I never had to go through that myself.
And what you're talking about is we're writing our legacy every day.
Yeah.
All the content we are creating will be there for present and future generations.
Yep.
It will live on. And that's why we are here to pass on the knowledge, the skills, and the talents we have so others can rise.
Amen. Huh.
All right. So when you look at all this, when money, prosperity, okay, all of these things work in, they're all aligned, as we talked about.
Mhm.
Okay. So, in order to get to this wholeness, we must address all these idiosyncrasies that we have within us, because we all have the power to succeed despite all the adversities and challenges that we have faced. Otherwise, we wouldn't be where we are today.
It's
Okay.
funny. I just had, an interview with a bunch of college kids. They asked me a bunch of questions. They were doing a project and they needed to interview an entrepreneur. And they asked me a whole bunch of questions about my business and how I started and all the things. This is my 31st year in business as of January 1. I'm pretty excited about that. Go me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And at the end, one of them was like, "Okay, you've told us great stories about your business and how you started and some of the experience you had. If you were going to do it all over again, what would you do differently?" And I said, "I wouldn't do a thing differently. I wouldn't be who I am with the message that I have if I changed even one thing that had happened to me in my life and my business." Now, do I have advice for others so that they don't go through the things that I went through? Absolutely. But I would not change my journey. Every step of our journey that got us to here, to this moment, to having this conversation was a necessary component for us showing up the way we do for our people. I cannot regret any of it.
I love that. I don't either. And I wanted to talk about the voice again,
Sure.
because I used to sing in the Baptist church. You
Mhm.
don't just get up there and sing. You practice every day. You with your voice, I don't know, 20 minutes, hour a day. And
Yep.
you get better. Just like anything else, just like your writing. When you start off writing, you write like shit. Okay? And then if you perfect your craft over time, through repetition.
Yep.
Okay? So if you don't like your voice, what are you going to do about it? Practice every day. The enunciation, the inflection, all of that. I do all of that every day. Okay? And
Yep.
and as the result, I see my work improving over time.
Mhm.
Small iterative steps. That's what you do. If it's something that you really passionate about and really want to succeed at, just like a golfer, just like a football player. You don't just go out there and play golf or play football. You develop the skill over time
Yep.
through trial and error.
Yeah. I believe in taking one aligned action. Like, if all I do every day is take one aligned action, I will be unstoppable. That's how we build up momentum. And momentum is a lot harder to build than it is to maintain. So get that momentum going and then just keep taking one aligned action. And that action doesn't have to be massive. I also want to say that action doesn't have to be doing and hard work. Right? Sometimes my most aligned action I can do is take the day off and rest. And there is nothing I need to do in order to deserve my rest.
Right, because when you rest and take care of yourself, you come back to a place of wholeness.
Yep.
Okay? You want your cup to be overflowing. You don't want your to be operating on empty. Okay? Because that's doing a disservice to you and the people you serve. Okay? And while you at rest, a lot of ideas come out of nowhere from your inner knowing. You have an opportunity to to gather all of these nuggets that are being given to you during your restful period.
Yep. Can I share a water ritual with you and your audience?
Abs- Absolutely.
I love it. You said you can't share from an empty cup, right? This is very, very common language. And the put your mask on in the airplane before you help somebody else with theirs, right? And people understand it on one level, but then they're kind of like, but that's selfish. I should be giving and giving and giving. So I have a water ritual. And it's early in the morning, so my pitcher is not currently full, so I'm gonna ask you to use your imagination. Um, we are the cup, right? We are the cup. And too often, what we do is pour into our cup a little bit and then pour it out and into others. Pour in a little bit to our cup and then pour it out to others. What if instead you poured and poured and poured and poured so deeply into yourself? Now, this is where I want you to use your imagination. Still pouring, the water begins to overflow and you get to serve from the saucer. Your cup never has to be empty order for you to do your good works in the world. So here's what I want everyone to do at some point, at least once today. When you're pouring water into your cup, I want you to say, I am the water and the water is me. I am the vessel and the vessel is me. And into me flows. And then list all the things that you desire, characteristics as well: health, wealth, vitality, ease, money, joy, more orgasms, more visibility, like whatever it is, whatever it is. And then, and I'm not going to do this because I don't have a basin under me, keep pouring. And as you get to the top, say, I am the water and the water is me. I am the vessel and the vessel is me. And then let the water continue to overflow. Let the water continue to overflow and say, from me flows. And then list all the things you want to pour into the world: grace, compassion, kindness, reverence, joy. And then be very intentional as you drink that cup. There's science that shows that thoughts actually change the water, right? Dr. Mazimoto, I think I'm saying that right, is a Japanese scientist who puts water in like glass jars and says hateful things to it or tapes a word around it, then freezes the water and looks at the water crystal that forms. And then he takes the same water and says good, kind, loving words to it, freezes it, takes pictures of the ice crystals. They are different. The ice crystals that form when we are thinking and saying horrible things or even depressing things or unkind things are very different than the pristine, gorgeous, beautiful crystals that form when you think love, kindness, compassion. We are more than 70% water. Mindfully drink that cup. You are transforming your entire life in that sip.
I love that analogy, because I'm a visual person. I love
Yep.
that.
Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me see if there's any comments down here. This has been an amazing conversation.
I'm having a blast. I could go all day.
I can too. uh, okay, Jack said your cup never has to be empty for you to do good work.
Thanks, Jackie.
Yeah,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing.
So true.
Yeah. Brandon said he loves that metaphor. Yeah, I love that too.
Yep.
Let's see if we have any other comments. Hi, Millie. Let's see. Um, Anybody have any questions? So, now you have your platforms on Facebook and additional platforms. Where else are you at other than Facebook and Substack? So we can subscribe to you.
Sure. Happy to tell you. And I'm going to tell you, you want to scooch over. You're out of frame again.
Thank you.
I've been watching mine, so I was like, I bet she'll appreciate knowing.
Yes. Yeah, I'm tired of half of my face being cut off. Okay.
There you go. Honestly, you can find me on any social media platform except for TikTok. I did delete my account after their new service and terms came out. I just could not sign up for that. But Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Blue Sky, just search Profit is Protest. Profit is protest. If you find that, you find me. And it's coming up. The book, Profit is Protest, will be released September 8th. I cannot
Okay.
wait.
Can I ask you now if
Sure.
you can come back and we can talk about it?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Now, tell us why you came up with that name, Profit is Protest. Just out of curiosity.
No, it's a great question. So after the inauguration, I was really struggling with how to even talk about what I do. Not because I didn't know what I do, but because it just felt so heavy in the world and it felt weird to go online and say, "Hey, the economy sucks, human rights are being violated, horrible things are happening, but I'm a great money coach and you need to you need to work with me." Right? And
Yeah.
it felt gross. So I went silent for a good 3 months where I just wasn't posting on any platform. And I had been talking for a good 9 months on I need to start a Substack. I knew Substack was where I needed to be. I like to say I'm wordy as fuck, and the other platforms don't really allow for that. So I was like, Substack, Substack, but I was never taking that next step, that next aligned action. Well, I went on retreat to Kyoto, Japan, had an amazing time there, really engaging with the energy of money in a new way. Because even as a money coach, I need a money coach and to continue up leveling my game. And I came back and I was, integrating what I'd learned and processing what I had experienced. And I wrote in my journal, Profit is Protest. And I knew in that moment what my message was. This was May 9th. Cannot forget it at all. And I haven't stopped talking about it since, because now more than ever, it is important that those of us, like the ones here in this room with us today, are unreasonably resourced so we can actually change the world. Because every time we spend a dollar, we're telling the rest of the world what we believe and what we value.
I can't say that enough.
Yep. Um, and it's also a way for my business clients to engage with money differently, to stop feeling guilty about being profitable, right? No, we need to make a ton of money so that we can do our good works in the world. So that
And
we,
give back to, oh, I'm super.
Mhm.
Go
No,
ahead.
you're absolutely right, to give back, right? But we have to take care of ourselves first. Remember, we are filling our cups up to overflow and we are serving from the saucer, right? That takes money. That and please understand, I have zero judgment to what number feels good and right in your body. If a $10,000 month feels wildly expansive to you, fantastic. Let's get you to $10,000 months. If it's a $100,000 month, it's what you need to feel expansive and that you have enough to pour back into the world from your saucer, fantastic. Like, there is no amount of money that a client can come to me with that is going to frighten me off. All I'm going to do is figure out, how do we reverse engineer your business from your stated desires, right? Because your business is here to serve you, not the other way around. Yeah.
I love that. So, how can we attract more money in our lives? Because I know when I was a kid, I knew this lady. She used to buy these candles. She said it was money candles. Okay, and she used to put them around
Sure.
her house. And she used to play the lottery. And then she used to get dreams. She had a dream book. And she's like, "Oh, this is the number that I dreamed about." She would hit the lottery a lot. So I'm like, maybe I should find some of those candles. Put one in each corner. Put one in each corner of the house. Okay. So, so what are some of the things you think that we can actually do to attract more money in our lives? In addition to what we talked about,
Okay.
internal things we can do.
You got a pen? Write this down.
Yeah, I sure do.
3 simple words. 3 simple words. Money loves joy.
Dang, I love that.
Money loves joy.
I should be rich.
So so when you receive anything, sit in the joy of receiving it. the gratitude of having it, right? And the longer you can sit in that joy, the more magnetic you become to all the things that will bring you that joy,
Oh,
right? So it's thank you, thank you, thank you. More, please.
so what you're talking about is the laws of attraction,
Absolutely.
which we already know about. Instead of, a lot of times what we do is we send in negative thoughts from our brain and it's going into the universe, and we don't realize that it's coming back to us, and then we wonder, well, why am I getting all this negativity? We're putting it out there unconsciously.
Yeah. So we named this chat This or Better, this live, right? This or Better.
Right.
So frequently when we set goals, we go, okay, let's just use the $10,000. I want $10,000. And then every day we're looking at it, we're going, oh gosh, I'm only at 2,000. And what we're concentrating is on that gap between what we have and what we want.
Scarcity mindset?
It is a little bit, but I mean it's instinctive, right? It's not anybody's doing anything wrong. It's we're just focusing on the wrong point. We're focusing on the gap, which extends the gap, makes it harder to cross the gap. So if we allow ourselves to feel joy, to celebrate the $200 comes in as if it's the $10,000 we asked for, right? With not going, oh, well, it only gets me $200 closer to my goal. That's not that much, right? If we sit in that joy as long as we can, Abraham from Esther Hicks, the consciousness that
Yes.
she downloads,
Yes.
he says that if we can sit in any feeling for 32 seconds, we become magnetic to what brings us more of that feeling. So when we're sad, we're sitting in that for 32 seconds, we are going to find ways to continue holding on to the sadness. Same with joy. If we sit in the feeling of joy for 32 seconds, we're going to find ways naturally, subconsciously to bring more of to us that brings us that joy. And then because I'm a math geek, so it tickles my funny bone that a universal consciousness is using base 8 math. He goes on to say that for every 8 seconds thereafter, you collapse time. Right? So you're already magnetic to what you desire, but now you're collapsing time on how quickly it can come to you. So money loves joy. I guarantee you everyone has a song that when they play it, they want to boogie, they want to dance, they want to sing, or it warms their heart. Like there's a song. Most songs on average are 3 minutes, 34 seconds. That's a whole lot of joy to sit in. So when you receive, hit play and then hold that joy for that entire time. And then the next time somebody pays you or you get a testimonial email or somebody says, man, you made my day today. Thank you. Every time, find a reason to celebrate. Money loves joy. And then to solve the conundrum of setting a goal that actually forces you to look at the gap, I want you to just add the words or better. I want $10,000 or better. Now, notice that's not or more. It's not about the more. You believe, and to some degree, you're going to be correct. You believe that $10,000 you're going to feel more expansive, more free, more able to do what it is you want to do. Sure. Our brains can only conceive of a small fraction of what the universe really wants to deliver for us. So by saying or better, we're leaving that doorway open, that threshold open for the universe to deliver to us what's truly going to bring us in the most aligned, highest and best way, which will give us that expansive, that freedom, that liberation, whatever it is that you really want the money for. Sometimes it might end up being $8,000, but if we concentrated on the 10, we'd miss those feelings at 8.
And we miss the blessings too.
Yep, exactly. And sometimes it might be 20, right? And if we put a cap on our ability to receive by saying, I want 10, the universe is like, well, okay, I really think you need 20, but here's the 10 you asked for. So, any goal, whether it's a house, a weight, a relationship, money, this is what I want or better.
I love that.
Yep.
Changing our thoughts change the trajectory of our life. And when I forgot what his name was. He came out with the book, the about the positive thinking. Maybe it was Norman somebody, but it's very
The
powerful.
Power of Positive Thinking is the name of the book.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
I
yes,
can't tell you the author, but I know the book.
yes. And it's the same principle throughout our life. I don't care what type of situation you are dealing with.
Yep.
Okay? If you look, it could be the negative as fuck, but there's always a silver lining, and
Mhm.
we can always find that.
Yep.
And you hold on to that and hold on to your faith. We can get through anything. Look at us today. We're here because of that, and that's a blessing, truly. So, does anybody have any questions?
Bring them on. Happy to answer.
Yeah. Okay. Don't be shy. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. Okay? Nobody seemed to have any questions. Did you have any suggestions or any recommendations that you would like additional that you would like to provide?
Well, I am gonna say, please subscribe. Right?
Absolutely.
Like, it would be silly to come on here and not invite you to join me on my Substack. Profit is Protest. I post 3 times a week, um, written and audio form. Yes, there is a paid version, but the paid version is not more content. It is more live experiences. So,
Oh,
yeah. So, on Monday mornings, we tap. EFT is, Liz, I will get to your question in just a second. On Monday mornings, we tap, allowing us to manage our nervous system because you cannot out receive your nervous system. If your nervous system does not have the capacity to hold, then you will not have the ability to receive. So we've got to tap. We got to tap. And then once a month, I do money coaching, group coaching. So there are benefits to being paid, but I do not paywall the content. And if you take even one of my articles, it can change your life. So, so Liz asks, what if you are in transition? And it's scrolled. Let's see. If you are in transition and your numbers might be different than in the past. We're all in transition. We're changing every day. Our needs, our desires, our identities. So transitions don't scare me. What we need to do is actually take a look at what it is you want to experience, right? Make sure that your identity and your nervous system are aligned with that experience, and then reverse engineer the numbers to make it possible. Right? I bridge the soul and the science of money. So as woo as I am, I'm also eminently practical. It's like, okay, we're gonna heal the nervous system. We're gonna do the identity work. We're gonna look at your human design. And we're gonna actually look at the data. And then we're gonna figure out how to make them work together.
wow. Okay. Now you talk about the soul part. I don't know if we had already addressed that part of it in our conversation.
We just used other language. That's the energy of money. That's the new way of engaging with money. That's sitting in the celebration of money. That's the soul side of money. And then the science, of course, is proper bookkeeping, looking at the data, setting up your cash flow and your pricing in a way that is supportive of your nervous system and your desires. Right?
Which can be different from person to person.
Oh, it absolutely is different person to person. If you go to somebody who's like, I've got this 6-step method and it's going to transform your life, maybe 3 of those steps will apply to you. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that.
That's why it has taken me so long in this monetization process, because if it doesn't feel right to me, I'm not going to do it. And if it's not in alignment with my values, and I'm still trying to figure that part out, along with everything else, having worked with the federal government for 39 years.
Sure.
I left there in April of last year, and I'm still trying to figure out who the hell I am
Yep.
after I've discarded a lot of things and people that no longer serving me, but it's
Yep.
still a process, okay? Because the world is constantly changing. What worked last week or 2 weeks ago might not be working this week, okay? So I'm like, okay, well, what do I do instead? So we have to constantly do these things and ask ourselves questions. And does this make sense? Okay?
Yep.
Sometimes it does, and then when it doesn't, you have to modify the plan accordingly. And
Mhm.
transition, that's why this the empowered leader, we all in evolving every day.
Yep.
Okay, how can we become our best selves? Okay,
Yep.
and we have to just continue us being accountable, being responsible, and doing the work to become the person we want to be.
Agreed. Jandro, is it Jandro? I don't know if I'm saying that right. How do you keep motivated? I have problems getting inspired. Some some days I am not motivated. Let me be honest. I am not always motivated. In fact, I would say the last couple weeks, it's actually been kind of hard for me to do my Substack, which has been crazy because I couldn't shut up about it. Um, but I made a commitment to myself. I made a commitment to my audience to show up 3 times a week. So there's been times where I have felt like I have been calling it in. And funny enough, even by showing up when I am not feeling in my best, I'm still getting private comments back going, "Wow, this one, this you said this opened my eyes." Part of that is understanding why I'm doing it, right?
Right.
I'm not doing it just to have a Substack. I'm not doing it just for recognition. I want both of those things. But those are the outcomes of a mission. So the getting inspired, I think, is actually understanding why you want whatever it is that you want. So
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. So even on the bad days, like you still know you want that thing. That's the change that you want to have in your life or in your family's life or in your people's life, like however big you think. And let me be clear. It is not important for every single person listening to this now or later to have this magnificent why. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to do the thing. In fact, most of us, based on human design, have no understanding of why we're truly here. And so much of what we're told online is that we have to know our grand why, our purpose in life. And when you don't feel that sense of purpose, and that's what everybody's telling you that you think you should have, you can feel like you're missing out or you're missing something. And that would be hard to get inspired because I don't have this grand why. Like right now, my why, like I'm just projecting onto you, might be I just want to be able to have a nice home that feels good, safe, quality, healthy food on my table. That's enough of a why.
I would like to piggyback on that.
Mhm.
All my life, I knew I was destined for greatness. Period. Let's keep it real. I didn't know what
Yep.
that was, okay? Because then your parents will tell you, well, you need to do this, you need to be this, you need to do that. I did that. Your identity is being formed when you're born. Okay. Sometimes you don't realize that until late in life. Sometimes some people never realize it. Okay. And I said, okay, until I figure it out, I'm going to go and work for the federal government and make that a career. At least I'll be able to have retirement when I get money when I retire, right? And then the last 2 years of my career with the government was the most horrible of my life.
Mm.
And it's because God had something else for me to do.
Yep.
Okay, and I figured out, okay, well, I'm supposed to speak. Okay, but that's something that I really didn't want to do. And I hated that. I hated that. I hated that job because I'm doing the same thing every day. And it was fucking boring.
Sucking the soul out of you. Yep.
It was helping the nation, working for the Corps of Engineers. The work that we did was very instrumental. I mean, very, helping all these communities and stuff. But on a personal level, I felt empty and didn't know what it was. Then I decided to become a coach. Okay, and then some said go to Substack. So something was bringing me to Substack too. And
Yep.
here I am today. You had told me I would have been a speaker when I was younger, I would have said, no, that's not me. But here I am today. I found it because I realized what I was passionate about through human design. Okay, I found out I was a manifesting generator, and so
Doesn't surprise me.
Okay. Okay, so I embraced that because the last time I wrote an article was maybe back in, I don't know when, maybe last July. Okay, that's not where my passion is, and it just and how long it took me to write an article. Not that I was a bad writer, I wasn't. Okay, but that's just not where my passion lied.
Sure.
When I realized what lit me up was talking to people and building these relationships. Well, building relationships is something I've always enjoyed. I have not looked back. I have not looked back, and I enjoy this. Okay.
Yep.
And once you find out what you're good at, you find out your special sauce, utilize that to build your community, to build your practice. Okay.
Yep.
But
Every
you
day.
got to do absolutely. So I am so happy that I ran across you from that audio. If it hadn't have been for that audio, I wouldn't have probably necessarily found you through an article, because there's so many articles that being written every day by these all the beautiful souls. So how can we elevate that? Add the audio on there. That way you can put that on, YouTube, YouTube, wherever, and have other people to also embrace that. Everybody don't want to read. Some people prefer to listen. So you give them the option. Okay, I'm going to give you an option. You can either listen or you can read, or both, or better, like you talked about.
Or better. And now we've got the live, right? So for the people who like to watch.
Boom.
Right?
Okay, we satisfy everybody in that instance, okay?
Yep.
Because you got the transcript. Because I'm not always going to want to write something afterwards. So you got the transcript, okay? You can listen and you can watch. You give people 3 options. That's better.
That way you get to meet your entire audience where they live. You're not trying to force anybody to conform to the way, like you have your number one, you speak.
Yes.
I have my number one, I write. But I'm also learning to love speaking. In fact, I will be on stage. I would be remiss if I did not mention this. In Chicago, Inspire and Elevate Live is what it's called. And so it's inspireandelevate.live for the web address. I will be speaking at a 2-day luxury event in Chicago in July. Would be wonderful to see some faces that I know there. In fact, I've seen a couple people pop into the chat who will also be speaking there. So we're going to have some wonderful people. Yeah.
And that's the good thing about connecting with people, okay? Because that increases our opportunities, okay? In many directions, okay? And I am honored to have met you. And I'm looking forward to talking to you again about your book.
Yes. I can't
wait. When it comes out.
I can't wait. September 8th. There will be a live launch party for those of you in the Sacramento, California area. More details on that to come. And I am over the moon. Like, it poured out of me. I'm working on the cover design right now, so I don't have anything to show you. But because I don't do anything the normal way, I'm gonna grab a book. This is not the book. Profit is protest, right? Why is it
Right.
more important than ever in history that those of us like us, big, kind-hearted humans, show up and become unreasonably resourced? And what does it do when we are? Like, how our money changes the world. Then you're gonna turn the book over, it's gonna be an entirely new book called Sovereign Profits. Now that you're unreasonably resourced, what can I do to make the world a better place? So it's 2 books in 1.
Wow, I love
I
that.
can't do it the easy way.
You're a trailblazer. That's why.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what we need to do. Okay. I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to. We're unique. I have my own brand, you know, and that represents who I am. And each of us should have who state who that is. So the people that jive with us can find us.
Mhm.
And with that being said, please make sure to send me that link to your event happening in Chicago, and I will
Absolutely.
include to add it with our article when I publish it. This has been
Absolutely.
amazing.
This has
You are
been so much
amazing.
fun. So this is my first Substack Live. Thank you for making it such a fantastic experience. It's going to inspire me to do more lives, which I'm sure Rob, Annette, Jackie, all friends of mine who have been telling me, do lives, will appreciate and hold me to my commitment. So you're going to see a whole lot more of me, Substack. I really hope you'll join me in Profit is Protest, putting your money where your values are, and experience Shayna's world.
Absolutely. And let's see, Jandro, Jandro.
Mhm.
He's yeah. I was honored to introduce Shaneh. For real. You had got sick and we just postponed and rescheduled, but there
Yep.
was no doubt in my mind that we was gonna have this conversation. You are amazing, you're a rock star. Keep
Thank you.
doing those audios and everything that you're doing. I am grateful to you and I'm honored to walk this journey with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. You've given me confidence to up my game.
Likewise,
So
okay?
that's an honor. Thank you.
Let's get that money.
Let's make the world a better place and get our money while doing it.
Absolutely. All right, thank you so much. All right,
All
bye.
right.
Bye everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.